Tenpai! Is this the best Synchro deck of 2024? Or is everyone overreacting over a small little campfire? In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing you Tenpai, how it works, what the deck aims to do, and showing you what not to do. It's so embarrassing. What's going on, my friend? This is SynchroGuy and welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, I'm going to be showcasing you the newest archetype released to the TCG, Tenpais. And man, I'm excited. I've been wanting to test this deck out for quite some time. I just never got around to it until just about recently. And oh boy, this deck, it's pretty fun, let me tell you. Now, one of the cool things about this archetype is that this archetype focuses around a certain phase that not a lot of decks usually focus around, and that's the battle phase. And that's because this archetype right here, when it goes to the battle phase, it does a lot of damage. Like it's like they play rough, like freaking rough. Oh. It's like if your opponent's playing against this deck and they get to the battle phase, they better start praying for mercy, let me tell you. Now, fun fact, this archetype is actually based around an old school card that came out way back in the early days of 2009, and that is this card, Trident Dragon. And when this card first came out, it was not that great. It was pretty bad, let me tell you. It was like, despite being high rarity, it was not worth a whole lot. Like, it was less than $1, pennies even. Well, that's gonna take a lot of cleanup. But now let me show you this card's current pricing in today's world. See, this is why you don't pick on the rare kid at school. Come on, people. The one thing a lot of players love about this archetype is how much damage this deck can put out in Synchro. Where we're talking about over 30,000 damage. That you're pretty much almost killing your opponent almost 4 times over. That is so ridiculous. And that's all this deck does. Is really when it gets to the battlefield, it's just attack. It's just there's hardly a way to stop them. Oh. But I think it's better if instead of telling you this, I show you what I mean. Be sure to stick around towards the end for the deck profile. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what you think of this archetype, and also don't forget to subscribe so you get more doses of Yu-Gi-Oh goodness. All right, on to the replays. All right, for this first replay, I'm gonna be showcasing you the main winning combo that this deck wants to perform. So with this deck, you always want to go second because going first, you cannot go into the battle phase. Okay, so yeah, you always want to go second in this deck. And that, if you do that though, you may telegraph to your opponent that you're playing this archetype, but that's okay because we come prepared. Here. So as you can see, we're playing against agents and they they're putting out quite the interesting board. Like they putting out like the Sanctuary in the sky, and that will be tricky because that keeps us from doing bound dash, and they got Chris here to stop with special summons. But again, we come prepared. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the droplet to negate the Crisio, so now we can do special summons. Normal summon Fadra, and Fadra was going to stretch out the monster we discarded, which is Tundra. And Chandra is very important for this deck because he is currently our only tuna monster in this archetype. So yeah, you want to try to see this guy high as often as possible. Then here we're going to go straight into the battle phase, attack, and then with Chandra's effect, we're going to activate it during the damage step, which is really cool, and you'll use it to summon out our missing trio, which is Pydra. On summon, Pydra can snatch us a Sangan spell or trap for our deck and either add to our hand or set it. Okay, so with the Pydra, we're going to be saying the Sangan summoning field spell, and you'll find out why in just a bit. And then we're going to attack over the Christian, and then we're going to do some attacks, and it's practically okay to do this because Pydra here has an effect that prevents any one of our fire dragon monsters from being destroyed in battle. And when you pair in a Pydra who prevents any battle damage with the fire dragon monster from happening, you have yourself pretty much in a near indestructible wall. That is really cool. And after a while, we're just like straight up just attacking into this big guy with our little guys. You'll see that in a bit as well. So after that, we're going to activate Pydra's effect to perform a quick Synchro Summon, and we're going to Synchro Summon into our Synchro 2 monster, Sangan Biden Dragon. And on summon, this guy can special summon back any one of our Fire Dragon monsters from the graveyard, so that is really cool. And also that quick Synchro effect you just saw, all 3 of our Tenpai monsters have this effect. Just a fun little tip. But anyway, with the Sangan with Biden Dragon, we're going to special summon back out the Pydra, and then we're going to try to be over it. But our opponent had a little card that prevented his monster's destruction, but you know, that's okay. Hey, so we're gonna use the Fodra here to quick synchro into Tenpai, Tristan, Dragion, and if you get to this guy during you're doing this point in the combo, then your opponent is pretty much they're gonna pretty much be almost guaranteed dead, because Tristan prevents your opponent from activating any cards or effects during the battle phase. Okay, so yeah, they are pretty much dead here. And from here, we can activate. Also activate by Dranga's graveyard effect, where if he's in the graveyard, and 3 or more attacks have been declared during the battle phase this turn, we can activate this effect to special summon him back from the graveyard. And hence why we attack with our little guys first, so we can be able to trigger this effect. And also, when Dranga is special summoned this way, we get to pop a spell trap on the field. So we'll use that to pop the field spell, and now we can start dealing some damage. So again, we'll now attack over, start doing a lot of damage, and then we can use Pydra's effect to go into our boss monster, Trident Dragon. And with this effect, we're going to pop the Sagan Summoning, and when Sagan Summoning is popped during the battle phase, we can target one of our Fire Dragon monsters and double its attack. So we set to double Trident Dragon's attack to 6k, and thanks to Trident's effect, he gains an additional attack for every card he pops with this effect. So, with just popping the field spell, he is now a 6k beer that can attack twice. And from there, that's pretty much just that's game. Alright, on to the next replay. Alright, for this next replay, I'm going to show you what not to do when performing the winning combo play. So we're going to be going second again, and we're going against Predator this time around, and I will admit, I made a mistake by using Ash Blossom a bit too soon here, because I completely forgot this archetype also likes to use the branded archetype, and see the branded fusion Ash would be really good for that, so I use my Bahami here to banish the Outback so they don't get a Mirror, because that might possibly try to ruin our play, but not gonna matter because they kind of put up a very big, powerful board, as you can see here. This is gonna be tough. But again, we come prepared for these things. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is use Droplet just to get the Bahami off, so we can activate the Lightning Storm. And obviously, this is not seems like a very good thing. It's just like you're wasting a good amount of resources, but we need to do this to ensure we can perform on winning play. And our opponent's going to change Super Power to kind of dodge it, and they're going to use it to go into a Predator Plant Fusion, or my apologies, a Starving Venom Fusion monster. And I will say though, it's a good thing we were able to do that, because we dodged a bullet. Whew! But anyway, now with most of the interruptions out of the way, we can then do perform card play. So we're going to activate our quick play spell, Sangan Kaiman, which is a searcher for the archetype, really good card. So we use that to search out Pydra, summon out the Pydra, and use this effect to set the Sangan Summoning, and activate the Sangan Summoning, which also can search one of our Tenpai monsters. So that's really cool, but it does cost us to discard a card, but it's all good. We'll then activate Charger's effect, where if he could special summon himself if we have a Fire Dragon monster on our field. And here we'll go straight into the battle phase, declare attack, and use Hunter to get out the missing trio Fodra. And here we'll just do our attacks so we can be able to do our attacks so we can be able to use our big guys as graveyard effects. And we'll then quick synchro into Dragon, and this is where I made my misplay. I should not have brought back the Chandra. There is no need to do that. When you're doing this combo, you only need just either Chandra or Biden as your tuner monster. You don't need both unless the situation really calls for it. So yeah, that is embarrassing. So please learn from my mistake. Hey, and this is also a big mistake, because by getting rid of the Starving Venom Fusion monster, it activates Graveyard effect, where it's special summon like Drinker's Appealing. Yeah, and now this becomes a really big issue. See, that's like, I really wish I brought back the Fire here, but here's a cool thing this archetype can do. Just remember how I said both our Tenpai main deck monsters have the ability to do a quick synchro effect. We activate Charge's effect and manage to bait out the Draco's Apelia. Yeah, so now we're going to change Pydra's effect to do the quick synchro, and then we're going to go into our boss rush, try and Dragon, and pretty much it's pretty much just going to be getting here, because we'll just use Trident to pop the field spell, pop Chandra, the field spell will boost Trident to 6k, and then he's just a 6k beer that can attack 3 times, and that will be more enough for game, so... Hey, this is SynchroGuy from the future, and I just want to quickly note another mistake I made that I did not catch until after I recorded the video. You see, tcgmasteracademy's effect, while good, there is one problem. His effect is a when you can effect. That means his synchro summon has to be the last thing that happens in order to get his effect. And as you just saw, he got summoned as Chain Link 3, not Chain Link 1. So, in other words, I would not be able to use tcgmasteracademy's effect and be able to get multiple attacks and let alone make him 6k. That was an error on my part. All I can say is I'm glad my opponent did not realize that and surrender as soon as I summoned out. So again, I got very lucky, but I'm mentioning this because I don't want you guys making the same mistake I made, so please learn from my mistakes. But again, please learn from my mistakes. Do not make the same mistake I made. You only need one tuna monster on the field at a time. But now, here's another question. What happens if we go first? This archetype usually prefers going second. What happens with go first? Are we just dead? Well, let's find out. Alright, for this last replay, we're going to be going first, and mostly because our opponent made us go first. I wonder why. But anyway, we'll start off by summon Family here, and Family here, he's not only good for breaking boards, but also good interruption during our opponent's turn, and we'll use this effect to get another copy of its self. Again, really good card. And here we'll normal summon out trying to use this effect, but it's gonna give you up, but that's okay. We have the Kaiman for the follow-up. We'll search Chandra, special summon Chandra, and then link them off into Horax Seal of Heavenly Spheres. And for here, we'll just pass turn because this will be good enough, and you'll see just why. Alright, and so our opponent's gonna activate upon turn, and look at that freaking the Tenpai deck. Well, who guess who? Guess. Our opponent's gonna use input to negate our Family here is like buggers. They'll activate the second summoning, and then go normal summon a Pancho to do a search. They're going to use the second summon to search, but we have the Ghost Ogre to pop it, so we don't have to worry about that. And now they're going to go to the battle phase and activate the Sangan Kaiman, and which cool thing is, cannot also just search out your Tenpai monsters, but also special summon it if it's during the battle phase. So that card is really good for the archetype. Now on summon, we're going to activate the Ghost Murder on hand to try to bait out the Chandra to do the quick single effect, but surprisingly, they let it go through. Okay. Hey, we'll take that. And then our opponent's going to try to attack. We're going to activate our heals. We're going to activate our Harangue Seals effect to do the bounce. But our opponent changed the Python's effect to do quick synchro, but they really did not read that. Heard that Harangue Seal does not target, so we're just bouncing back away the monster they summoned. And then since our seals was tributed, we'll activate its mandatory effect to special summon out Phaedra. Phaedra's effect will bring back one of our two monsters, and that's pretty much just gonna be GG's. So as you can see here, even if we go first, we still have a play we can do to ensure that we can not just interact with our opponent and keep it off their game plan, but ensure we can do our main combo play at some point. And from here, and also when you get to this point, you can either use Phaedra's effect to either bring back the Chandra, so you can do a quick synchro during your opponent's turn for like a big monster like Black Rose or something, or you can summon out the Phaedra and just having that near indestructible what we talked about before. Alright, now let's go over the deck profile. And here's our current Tenpai deck list. So here we are playing 3 copies of Phaedra, 3 copies of Chandra, and 2 copies of Phaedra. You only usually want to play like 2 copies of Phaedra at most, because Phaedra is not like Chandra or Phaedra. Phaedra, he requires a little bit of setup because, you know, his effect is to summon back a Fire Dragon monster from the graveyard. And I mean, it's good, but again, that requires a little bit of setup. Not really good as a starter, so you don't want to see him too often. We're also playing 3 copies of Sangan Kaiman and 3 copies of Sangan Summoning, and both of which are really good. Oh, and another good thing to know about Sangan Summoning is that while this card is face up on the field during our main phase 1, our Fire Dragon monsters are unaffected by our opponent's activated effects. So this just helps makes it so we are able to successfully go into the battle phase where our opponents gonna have a hard time trying to react to us, because again, a lot of our stuff happens during the battle phase, and especially the damage that where certain cards like Ash buffs and doesn't stop us. We're also playing 3 copies of Power Prosperity, and this kind of seems almost like counterintuitive a little bit, because Power Prosperity makes it so when we use it, our opponent takes half the damage they would take. But again, this deck can put up over 30,000 points of damage, and half that's 1,500, and that's still more than enough to get rid of our opponent's 8k life points. So yeah, this archetype can afford to play the Pot of Prosperity, and this really helps boost the consistency of the deck. We're also playing one copy of Bishop Magnemon. It's a really good card because he searches out any dragon monster from our deck and sets all of our Tenpai monsters are dragons. So it seems pretty good. And we're playing 3 copies of Cashier Fairy. Yeah, again, really good card. One copy of Combine High, 1 copy of Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storms, and 3 copies of Forbidden Drop. And for the hand traps, we're playing 3 Ghost Mourner, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 3 Imperms. Right. Now onto the extra deck, we're playing 2 copies of Sangenpai Binding Dragon, 1 copy of Sangenpai Transcendent Dragon, 1 Charging Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Moonlight Dragon, 1 Ruddy Rose Dragon, okay, 1 Odd Eyes Meteorburst Dragon, and 1 Samurai Destroyer for the U-Bell matchup, and 1 Q-Bell the Blade Dragon. And we're also playing 1 copy of Typhon, which I mean, he's kind of like you, just like, you know, just in case like things go way south, our opponents somehow manage to manage to stop it. So he's kind of a last resort. Just be aware. Yeah, and then we're also playing 1 copy of SP Low Knight, 1 Hita, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Harang Seal. The Heavenly Spheres. And also a quick note, the reason Striker Dragon is in here is because of so we can use SP's Low Knight's banish effect. She requires an extra deck monster when we summon her. So if you got 2 Tenpai dragons, you want to go to SP, make sure you use one to go to Striker Dragon first. Keep that in mind. Alright, and then for the side deck, we're playing 3 copies of D-Shifter. I was a bit blown away when I just learned that this archetype can actually play D-Shifter and do well, because it's like this this archetype kind of enjoys having stuff in the graveyard a bit, but the fact we can play D-Shifter and still pull off our main combo to win like that, okay, that's amazing. So we're also playing 2 copies of Santa Claus, 1 copy of Heatwave. Never thought I'd see the day where this card become actually potential meta relevant. So. Then we're also playing 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 3 copies of Crossout Designator, and 1 copy of the Barrier to pair with the Crossout, because we do not want our opponents to freaking stop us when we want to go second. Now, as you can see, our deck is pretty much kind of a mix of like both board breakers and hand traps. But that's one of the cool things about this archetype, is that it is able, to have the room to play all of these. But if that doesn't float your boat, to try making this deck into a more hand trap focus or board breaker focus, or whatever you prefer. Overall, Tenpai is really such a cool synchro deck. Heck, like, I'm finally glad I really got a chance to try it out, and I'm still trying to learn this deck. Heck, so I'll post an updated version of this list in the future, especially when this archetype gets its newest import, or the Infinite and Forbidden Set, and I'm excited for it, so I hope you are as well. But anyway, my friend, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have /had an awesome day today.